afternoon, today this is your speaking test, and this meeting is being recorded.
I know.
Okay.
I'm trying to see one moment. Oof, okay.
It's also speaking
Nice, nice.
test.
Yeah, well, that's fine. That's all.
And can I have a look in your ID?
Please, sure. Here you are. You can have a look.
Yes.
Have a look.
That's
What's my name? Not my name. My name is Jahangir Usmatullah. You can call me John. From what? It's not funny. I think okay.
Let's start our speaking test.
Sure.
Let's talk about
Thank you, people.
sports.
Yep, sure.
Do you like watching sports?
Well, honestly, I would say that I'm not that keen on watching sports. It's probably because from my childhood, I was just obsessed with maximization of benefit for me, and just watching sports is not like good thing for me, I think, because I'm not an athletic person. I just wasn't keen on watching sports from early like stages of my childhood. I'm just not gonna watch it like in the future too.
Do you like sports?
Well, I like some sorts of them. I'm really enthusiastic about UFC. I like individual fighting sports, martial arts. I'm really interested in kickboxing, but unfortunately, I'm not able to do any of them at the moment because of my business work. But I hope in the future I'll be able to embark myself upon these things, immerse myself in these activities.
Do most people in your country like sports?
Well, in general, I would say that they are really into watching sports because after 9 to 5, they're 9 to 5, they are really into escapism. They want to escape their life, mostly because it's just off topic, I'll say it. They don't like their job and they just mostly watch football matches, boxing matches. They're really into sports. They just, mostly men, they just turn on the TV and they just start watching these things.
What is the differences between watching sports events at home and at the stadium?
Well, I would say that there are a lot of differences, and the most prominent difference would probably be the experience that you get. For example, when you're in sporting event, live sporting event, you will get to see the experience, the feelings, all the emotions in full blast. But when you're like watching in front of TV passively, you're not gonna feel that much emotion.
What was your favorite sport when you were young?
Well, when I was young, as I said before, I was not really into watching any sports or doing any sports. But then, at later stages of my life, I developed love for martial arts because martial arts is all about developing yourself, perfecting yourself, and that's all I'm obsessed about in intellectual level. And I just want to do this in physical level too. But to get back to the point, I was not that into sports in my childhood.
Okay, let's turn to part 2.
Okay.
This is your topic.
Thank you. Okay. Hello? No? Thank you. Come on. Okay, I have 1 minute, right? Oh shit, what the hell? Can I start talking? Well, now I would like to start saying that I messed up. Well, I would like to start by saying that I'm really into developing new skills, improving my existing skills, self-development stuff. Like I'm just really crazy about self-development, and there are a lot of skills that I'm learning that I've learned already. But I'm going to talk about the exact same skills that I learned from one person that helped me the most in my life, and the skill is meta learning, meaning learning how to learn, learning skills, developing skills, and the fastest way of getting to this thing. And I learned it from Naval Ravikant. If I talk about this person, he's Indian guy living in America, like millionaire, investor, thinker, and a lot of definitions of this person's name. He's like most famous with Twitter. He just tweets a lot, and he's just the clear, stark illustration of who you can become if you learn the skill of how to learn, how to develop things clearly and easily. And I learned this skill through two ways, and they are mostly reading and developing theoretical knowledge, and after this, embarking on practice, immersing oneself in mostly practical details, because theorizing is fine, but if you don't back this up with practice, it's not going to be. I was talking about practice, and if you don't embark yourself upon practice, it's not gonna it's not gonna reap. You're not gonna reap the benefits to the fullest. That's why I would just think that the best way to do, and the best way I did, was reading plus practice and combining these two controversial things. And the feeling I got from this was really mixed, because I got scared. I just got scared by the perspective that what can I achieve if I apply this thing to all my spheres of my life, all my aspects of my life. And I just got grateful, because to do this, doing this requires a lot of intellectual skills and practical skills too, because if you're not like high level in IQ, you're not going to be able to pull it off, because you have to be brainy, you have to be smart. And I'm really grateful that my parents are like great people. Like they just had right time, and I exist here. I'm just sitting here. Thank you. Here's my paper. Here's my pencil. Everything. First 3 questions, right? Can I get sound at least? I don't know.
Okay, what skills can younger people learn from older people?
Well, mostly I would say that mostly practical skills, because older people are the only advantage that older people have over a younger generation is they have lived longer and they have seen more, and they can just give mostly practical skills on how to live a life, how to do some practical thing, how to accomplish something, maybe how to socialize with people. Such skills, I would say.
What help do older people need?
Well, older people need mostly physical help, maybe mental help in some cases, because some older members of generation become lonely when they get older, because they just get abandoned by people. Mostly their friends and acquaintances die, their spouse may die, and they just need mental help, mental assistant, like companionship, and mostly physical help too.
What can children learn from their parents?
Well, children learn mostly everything from their parents, because, as you know, we have a proverb like you just bird sees, birds does. Like there was some kind of proverb, and like you just like human beings learn by imitation, and children learn mostly everything from their parents, from ranging from how to speak to how to behave in front of strangers.
What kinds of things can young people learn from older people?
Well, as I said before, they are mostly practical skills and skills on like broad range of skills on how to live life, how to communicate with people, how to be virtuous, how to conduct yourself in hard situations. Because old people are like already went through this cycle, and the young people are going to repeat the same cycles as that older people did, and older people can just mentor young people through this stage of their life.
How can people in the neighborhood help the elderly during the
Epidemic. Well, there were a lot of very virtuous actions that have been taken by the neighborhoods and that are being taken at the same time now, older people, as you know, are more susceptible to the disease and to catching this illness. And neighbors are mostly living products, mostly groceries in their doors, and they're just calling them and they're just saying, well, we left some groceries, please take it up. Or they're just calling doctors when they have some problems, or they're just monitoring people through some kind of sensors. Maybe this person got unconscious and they're lying in bed, and through some monitor sensors, they are just tracking the well-being of older generation.
So this is no.
Yeah, that's it. Please.
Then
Well, thank you. Now you have to give me feedback. You have to give me feedback. You got it, right? You give me feedback. Sitting there. No, let's change. Let's change it. It's working. It doesn't matter. It's working. How to see us? I know. No, no, because I'm feeling older.
please and what's yours? I'm thinking of saying how to say. First of all, and then overall, actually overall, thanks for speaking is this or okay. Okay. Overall best score of the candidate is 8.5. The candidate did some minor mistakes in pronunciation and some minor grammar mistakes. And for lexical resource, should I say I?
Of course, yours together.
Okay. For lexical resource, I would give the score 9. I don't know how to assess. I don't know. I have never done this. Okay. First question was should choose a grade or I should be neutral.
This will be fine. Why do you feel like
Because fluency confusion was really great. Everything was connected and there was no disruptions between sentences, no disruptions between meaning in the meaning. And for this I will score it as 9. But there were some grammar mistakes, and such as they have C more, and older people needs. And for this, I was scored, but they were mine, so I was scored as 8. And some pronunciation problems. So for pronunciation, I would also score it as 8. And grammar, it was perfect. Okay, for this, I would score it as 9 as well. So overall score is 8.5.